Zen Baby here, and today we are going to talk about how to get your little one to sleep through the night. So a little bit of a backstory. Asher, my son, who is now 5 months old, when he was around 2 months old is when he actually started to sleep through the night. So I got him on a really good schedule way early on. At 2 months old, he was only waking up once during the night to feed. Some people would think that was crazy or extreme, but it worked for him. He gained weight well. So I want to tell you what happened between the 2-month-old phase and now, things that I regret and things that I hope that you learn from so that you don't do. And I'm also going to show you how to get your baby sleeping through the night again or for the first time. So first things first is we tried a couple of methods when things started to turn a different direction. So like I said, Asher used to sleep really good in the night, and then around the 4-month mark, and that's usually when the sleep regression starts, and I'll put it in the description below what the sleep regression is, how to go through it. But he dealt with two things at once. He dealt with some sleep regression and he dealt with teething. 2 teeth came in exactly when he turned 4 months old, and also some bad habits set in around that time that was definitely my fault for doing. I kind of got a little comfortable with Asher falling asleep so easily in the middle of the night at 2 months old. So I wanted to share with you a couple of bad habits I started that I hope that you don't start, or if you already did, I'll show you exactly how to get out of those bad habits. So first bad habit I got into was I got really comfortable around when he was about 1 month old to 3 months old. I started this bad habit of rocking him till he fell asleep and then putting him down for bed. So I literally would rock him for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, however long it took for him to fall completely asleep, and then that's when I laid him in the bassinet or laid him in the crib. It worked for me at the time. It was less fuss. I felt like it took forever for him to fall asleep on his own or fall asleep once I put him in the crib. He would always literally wake up with his eyes open, bink, right when I would put him in the crib. So I just took the easy way out. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna rock him until he's like in a deep sleep, and then I'm gonna put him down. That's what worked for me when I was on maternity leave and a stay-at-home mom. That's what worked for me even when I went back to work. I just rocked him till he passed out. And then for nap time, which is something I'm still working on getting out of, for nap time, I would do the same. Just rock him to sleep, or put him in a bouncer and rock him in the bouncer for his whole nap. So that's the first bad habit I got into right around 1.5 months old, and I carried up until recently. The second bad habit I did was I nursed him until asleep. So around about 1 month old, I got into a really good sleep routine. And if you haven't started a sleep routine with your son or daughter for their bedtime routine, start now. But I started a bedtime routine, which was good. Every night I would nurse him, and then I would put him in his bouncer, read him a book, and then put lotion on him, talk to him a little bit, and then of course ease into the bad habit of rocking him till he fell asleep. So having a bedtime routine was great, but then something happened that was magical, and I took advantage of that. One night I nursed him and he fell asleep in my arms. Right after he finished nursing, he passed out. All I had to do was pick him up, carry him to his crib or his bassinet, put him in his swaddle. Now he sleeps in a magic sleep suit, which definitely check out that video of my sleep suit video. But I would just lay him in his sleep suit or his swaddle, zip it up, Velcro it up, boom, done. Didn't have to rock him, didn't have to worry about him waking up when I put him down. I loved it. So hence the beginning of the second bad habit. So for about the past month or so, I've been doing that. His bedtime routine has become, and it was laziness on my part, his bedtime routine in the past month has become me just nursing him till he passes out in my arms for bedtime, and then I put him to bed. So much so that he expected it that way. So he would often get frustrated because there were some times when he would not fall asleep, and even he would keep trying to drink himself to sleep because he got so much into that routine. So it became really bad, really bad habit. Didn't really have much routine. So if you're watching this video and you either A, used to have a baby that slept good and now they don't and you need help, or B, you have a baby that's starting to sleep bad and you need help, or C, you started some bad habits and mama, you know that you need to change those habits. Whatever your story is, I'm here to help you and to make sure that your baby is a happy baby and that you, mom, or you, dad, are a happy parent. So, I'm going to reveal to you my journey of what happened. I'm able to make this video right now. Asher is still sleeping. It's morning. It is 6:15 a.m. He's usually awake at 6 a.m. I think he's going to sleep till about 6:30 or 7 a.m. this morning. And it's wild. It's amazing because for the past 2 weeks, he's been getting up at 5:30 or 5 a.m. And after I tried this method I'm going to tell you about, he's still sleeping. So, long story short, I tried the cry it out method and I made a video about it, which I'm going to delete because at first I thought the cry it out method was great, but then after doing some research, talking to some family members that used to be in the childcare development career, after just seeing how it affected my son, I do not suggest the cry it out method for a couple reasons. If you're in an apartment, such as myself, your neighbors will hate you if you try the cry it out method. Number 2, I noticed that the next day after I tried the cry it out method, even though it worked seemingly, he cried for 30 minutes and then passed out on his own. The next day, his naps were horrible. He was a lot more fussy and he just seemed really, really out of it. And I knew it was because of that method that I tried. And so just do what works for your baby. But for my baby and for what I've researched, it just did not work for little Asher emotionally, physically. So after night 1 of the cry it out method, I was like, nope, not gonna do it. That being said, I was just desperate. I was expressing to my husband, like, babe, I don't know what to do. I want to do what's best for Asher. I need to find a method that's right for him. So hence, I was doing some research and I found a method, and I'll put it in the description below, but I found a method that, oh my God, is working amazing. Night 1. So what I did last night is I broke the habit of nursing him to sleep. So even after Asher fell asleep in my arms, as he normally did after nursing, I woke him up and I made sure to begin his bedtime routine again of putting him in his little bouncer, reading him a book, putting lotion on, and it was amazing. So I started that routine. Next, here's the method I'm going to show you. So the method that I researched online and I kind of tweaked it a little bit to fit Asher's needs is I rocked him in his arms, and as they will tell you, it's called the lay them down when they're still drowsy method. So that's what I did. I rocked him in my arms until he started falling asleep, and I waited to that right moment, right before I can tell he would fall asleep. So I rocked him, his eyes started to slowly close, open and close, and I waited till it was kind of like closed for like 2 seconds, and then I laid him down in his bassinet while he was still awake and drowsy. And then for the next 5 minutes, I had my cell phone right next to me to time myself, but for 5 minutes straight, I just rubbed his tummy, rubbed his chest, patted him, rubbed him, shh, 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 shh. Did that for 5 minutes, and lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, he went to sleep. Because I waited till he was drowsy, and I made sure he knew I was there, everything's okay, waited till he went to sleep. He went to sleep, and he did not wake up until his usual feed time in the middle of the night, which is around 11:30 p.m. now. Woke him up, fed him, and then I did the same thing. And he kind of resisted in the middle of the night. It took him a little longer. I think it took him about 10 to 15 minutes. So this time I rocked him a little bit till he was drowsy, laid him back in the bassinet. This was after his middle of the night feeding. Did the whole shh, 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 shh for 5 minutes. And even though he was still awake, I left after I did it for 5 minutes, and he cried, waited for 5 minutes, came back in, shh, 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 and he eventually passed out. Ladies and gentlemen, since 11:30 p.m. last night, Asher has been asleep, and it's now almost 6:30. So 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So far, he's been asleep nonstop for 7 hours, which he's not been doing for the past month or month and a half. I am feeling so good. I have work later today, and I am like wide awake. I got so much sleep last night, and it's because I truly believe this method of laying them down, when they're drowsy, trust me, it works. And even if they're still awake and they start crying again, go in 5-minute increments. Comfort them for 5, leave for 5. Comfort them for 5, leave for 5. Why? Because that's teaching them independent sleeping, but it's also still being there for them emotionally, so they know that you're there for them. It's like the best of both worlds, independence and a little bit of love. And he's still sleeping. He's still sleeping. My lights are on. I'm talking to you guys. He's still sleeping. And he slept for 7 hours so far, nonstop. He might even sleep for 8 total. And then I'm definitely going to make sure to wake him up at 7 a.m. because I believe that's going to be his new wake up time. So moving forward, that's the method. Oh, I think he just woke up. So I'm going to let you guys go, but I will put the whole method and more details in the description. But don't give up, mom. Try different methods. But I'm telling you, for my son and maybe for your son or daughter, this method of the 5-minute increment will work. If you started bad habits, break them. No matter how much it's hard to break them or how long it takes to begin new habits, it takes about 3 weeks for any human being, whether baby or adult, to start a new habit. So start now. Take away those bad habits of rocking them until they're falling asleep or nursing them to sleep. If your baby is older than 4 months old, they only need to eat about once or twice in the middle of the night, if that. If they're younger than 4 months old, they still need to wake up in the middle of the night a couple times to nurse, but it's totally possible to have them only waking up at the nursing time and not every hour or 2 or however your hell looks like right now. It's possible for it to become heaven. So I will put the notes below, and this method, definitely start sleep training, as they call it, probably once they're around, I would say 3 to 4 months old is when you can safely start this method. Until then, just love on them. That's what I did. The bad habits didn't start till he was around 2 months old. No, I'm sorry, around 2.5, 3 months old is when things seem to start to shift and solidify into the bad habit. But before then, he was sleeping great. But if your child is younger and they're not sleeping very good, don't worry. I'm going to make a video that's going to help you help your child sleep even at 1 month old, to sleep really, really good. So hang in there, mama. Hang in there.